we are going to delve into our main event, the match between Jake Paul and Ben Askren. And needless to say, Jake has not been shy in talking about this fight on social media and elsewhere. And Ben Askren has done a great job on his own end in the verbal department. Let's hear from both of them.
What's next for Jake Paul? Knocking people out, man. And so the first step of this era is knocking out Ben Askren, putting on a violent show.
I think it's pretty obvious why Jake Paul picked me. Number one, large social media following and fairly popular. Number two, from what it appears to him, my striking is really poor. But I'm happy that he chose me to beat him up.
Literally everything's at stake. Half the people are tuning in because they love me, but half the people are tuning in because they want to see my career be ended.
I don't know why people actually think he's a good troll or a good trash talker. I think he's terrible.
He's been asking for a beating. He's been asking for a beating.
I think his intelligence level and his maturity level is that of roughly a middle schooler.
Ben Askren, get a little fucking shout. April 17th, gonna be a movie. We live on Triller going groovy. Yeah, you know me. Yeah, JP, I'm going crazy.
This Olympic decorated athlete, two-time NCAA Division I champion, one championships champion, 15-0, Bellator MMA champion, less losses than McGregor. With all that said, I truly believe like I'm going to knock him out.
He's definitely not a fighter. He boxed two guys who are incredibly terrible at boxing and look like they've never been in a fight in their life.
That's why it's a perfect fight, because you're going to see the Disney Channel actor, the YouTube kid, knock out a legitimate MMA fighter.
I'm a world-class athlete. I've been top 10 in the world in 4 different things: wrestling, jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts, and disc golf. You really got to be like a certain type of guy to just wake up one day and just be like, yo, I'm trying to play some disc golf. He's not going to know what to do. When he gets tired, he's breathing hard, and I haven't fallen over yet. He's going to be coming in. I'm going to be like, boom. Literally lat dropping, bro. Going viral, bro. I stepped in the cage and fought like really high-level fighters for a decade, and they could punch me, they could kick me, they could knee me, they could elbow me, they could choke me. And now I'm fighting a YouTuber, and all he can do is punch me. Like, this is easy compared to that.
This isn't a gimmick. I won't lose. I can't lose.
Ben is going to Sleepy Sleepy, just like Sleepy Nate, just like Sleepy Gibbs, and just like Sleepy Deji. Tune in. I love you guys.
Welcome to the show.
All righty. If Jake could just come out of his shell, you know, we'd be okay. Fun setup for this match, and it puts it on the table. Jake Paul in his third boxing match, taking on former MMA champ Ben Askren. And can't wait to invite them out here on the stage. With no further ado, Jake and Ben, come on out. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, guys.
Hi, Ben.
How you doing?
Well, you guys have set the table for this pretty well with that video and with what you've been doing beforehand. And Jake, I'll start with you. You've kind of indicated that at the end of the day, your boxing skills you feel are better, and that ultimately that's the difference.
No, 100%. I mean, this guy's striking is that of a grandma. Quite literally, if I put a grandma in against Jorge Masvidal, she would have lasted longer than this guy. You know, he's a good athlete, they say. But April 17th, he's going to get exposed. You know, we saw Steve Cunningham earlier going up against Frank Mir. And it's a boxer versus an MMA guy. I love Frank Mir, but at the end of the day, Steve's gonna take care of business. Then later on in the night, same thing is going to happen. This is boxing versus MMA. And you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the difference of a wannabe fighter, you know, a guy who choked in the Olympics, a guy who choked in the UFC, and now a guy who's going to choke against Jake Paul. I'm going to end this guy's career as an embarrassment. Masvidal did it once. I'm about to do it again.
All right. So all of that having been said, Ben, you indicate that the difference is not about the skill; it's about the toughness.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd heard of Jake Paul prior to accepting this fight, but I couldn't have told you a lot about him or his brother. I knew, you know, he kind of came up in his brother's shadow. He was trying to fill his brother's footsteps. You know, his brother is a lot more talented, has a larger following. Those type of things.
You literally went on your Instagram and asked people for roast. You asked people for roast on your Instagram, and that was the top comment was say that his brother is better than him.
Is he?
That's like calling Kylie Jenner Kendall Jenner. Like
I don't know anything about them.
Yeah,
anyway, so
like, doesn't matter. Still a compliment.
Okay.
I would love to be Logan. Logan's a great kid. Both stars, both taking over the world at a young age.
Okay, so when Logan's little brother called me out, you know, I thought about it. Like,
you actually called me out. Let's get the facts straight. You called me out the week of the Nate Robinson fight. So continue.
Okay, so when Logan's little brother called me out the week of the Nate Robinson fight, I said, sure, more than happy to, right? I like to fight. I've been fighting for a long time. Never boxing, but I've done wrestling, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu. And, you know, I thought, well, from his angle, what's he doing? And, you know, I asked some of my kids at my academy, what's this guy all about? And they said, he's a bully, he's a dick. And so I think from his angle, it was like, he's thinking, who's the easiest guy that I can pick that'll give some validity to my name? It's like, I'm going to pick the guy who just had a surgery, who's retired.
If I wanted to pick the easiest guy, I would have picked Dylan Dennis.
Well, we know
Dylan was too scared to sign the contract.
I agree.
You actually had the balls to sign the contract. So if I wanted the easiest guy, I would have picked Dylan.
Jake, you did pick Dylan. We know that. I've already went over that. You picked Dylan. I know he wouldn't do it.
But you just said I picked you.
Because Dylan wouldn't say yes, dum-dum.
You choking on your words, Bubba?
You picked
choking
Dylan.
on your words, Bubba?
You picked Dylan. Dylan wouldn't sign the contract. Therefore, you can't fight Dylan, so you had to pick the next person. Okay?
But now, you said I picked you first. You said if I wanted the easiest person, it would have been Dylan. But you're saying I picked you as the easiest person.
Because Dylan wouldn't sign a contract. Well, I'm trying to wait for you to stop talking. Okay. So, anyways, like this is typical bully behavior, but obviously sometimes
this is the
bully
fucking
picks
fight
the wrong
game.
person.
This is the fucking fight game. You pussy ass bitch. This is the fucking fight game. Yeah, I'll bully you around just like I'm gonna bully you in the ring. Shut the fuck up. You sound like a middle schooler. Oh, he's bullying me. Shut the fuck up.
Now, I was talking to your mentality. You're not gonna bully me. That's not gonna happen. And you know, like Jacob, you and I ran into each other in the back alley in Las Vegas, and I wanted to
do it right now. Then do it right now. Then we're running into each other right now.
Someone stop you. Got like 27 people.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
Bitch.
Anyways, I would do a homicide on you if I wanted to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you are. I guess that sets the table pretty well.
Bitch.
Let's go to questions from the press on hand.
Right in your face. You didn't do shit.
Jake, I guess I would ask you to clarify. I mean, why did you pick Ben? No disrespect to Ben, but I think he's the last guy we ever thought would see.
I already laid it out to you.
Right?
No. Here's what actually happened is actually after my Nate Robinson fight, there was probably 70 people calling me out, wanting to fight me. And there was probably 6 people that it made sense to fight. Bisbing, McGregor, Diaz, Dennis, Askren, some YouTubers who are popular. But I wanted to fight a real MMA fighter. When it came to signing the contract, a lot of them didn't want to do it. And by the way, this is me coming to them with the biggest payday of their lives. This is Ben's biggest payday of his life. He's publicly said that. And so when it came down to signing the contract, he was actually down. So that's how it happened. And this fight makes sense. This fight makes sense in a lot of ways. And there's a large majority of people who think he's going to win. And then there's the other half who know I'm going to win.
Ben, I guess I want to ask you, when this first got announced, it seemed like kind of a fun exhibition thing for you to stay busy after your MMA career. But where does it stand now? I mean, obviously some pretty personal words, and, you know, a lot of people are looking at you as kind of representative of the sport of MMA as well. So where does it stand? I mean, you've been an athlete all your life, competing at the highest level. Is this a serious competition to you, or is this a fun exhibition?
I mean, I'm going to take it serious, but the highest level of competition, no, not even close. Yeah, I'm going to have fun with this. That's what I came for. Jake thinks he's a high-level boxer. I think he's fairly delusional. I guess we'll find out.
You will find out very quickly and in a violent fashion, and you will embarrass the sport of MMA. You are representing the UFC. This is personal. You know, the whole MMA community.
You're trying to make me represent the sport of
No,
MMA
you are
or
representing
UFC.
the sport. Dana White is betting money on you. You know, he's trying to get trainers to actually help you train so that you can beat me. So you are representing the sport of MMA. You are an MMA fighter. Just like I'm representing the sport of boxing because I'm a boxer. Just like I'm representing celebrities and YouTubers because I'm a celebrity and a YouTuber. So I'm representing all of those things. So you are representing them, and you will see boxing conquer.
All right, let's go out for another question.
Hey, Jake, it's the Schmo. Good to see you. Quick question for you. If you get through Ben Askren, do you think that's the key to getting the attention of Dana White and maybe getting a Conor McGregor fight? Or who would be next on your list if you get through Ben Askren?
Schmo, my guy, good to see you. You know, I don't have to do anything to get the attention of these guys. You know, they have to get the attention of me at this point. And, you know, they're talking about me more than I'm talking about them. So, you know, he's one of the first fighters on the list. Yeah, he's the first MMA fighter that will be taken down. I think this will make the Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor fight that will happen one day more intriguing, of course. But you know, there's Diaz after this. You know, there's tons of people calling me out, celebrities, still athletes. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, this fight will give me a lot of credibility. You know, Ben's 19-2, has less losses than McGregor, 2-time NCAA Division I champ, Olympic wrestler. So yeah, he's a real fighter, and that's why I wanted to do this fight, is to show the world like, yo, this real fighter is getting in with Jake Paul and he's gonna get KO'd in 2 rounds.
Now for you, Ben, on the other side of the coin, if you get through Jake Paul, what's next in your boxing career? Do you go for the big brother Logan Paul?
Yeah, I mean, 2021 seems like a tremendous year to beat up the whole Paul family.
All right,
Good seeing you, Schmo.
let's go to another question from the
good.
press.
That was your first good joke at the press conference. I know you're really excited about that one. Do you smoke cigarettes or are your teeth just yellow?
I'll write your material if you want me to.
English, please.
If you want me to write your jokes, I can do them for you.
If I want you to read my jokes. This guy's talking about my intelligence. Okay. God damn it. Embarrassing.
Mr. Zach here with the question for Jake Paul. Your last fight, you stole the show with a second-round knockout over Nate Robinson. What kind of improvements can fans expect to see in your game going into this fight?
Zach, I pick wins, young legend right there. You know, lots of improvements. I'm a completely different fighter. The fighter that I am now would knock out the fighter in the Nate Robinson fight. That is Jake Paul. So I'm completely different. And people will see I really haven't even gotten to show my boxing ability in my last 2 fights because they've both been like 4 minutes total or like 7 minutes total. So, you know, I'm actually excited to see if Ben's going to give me a little bit of a test, a little bit of a challenge, because then people will see, oh, shit, this kid can do that. Oh, he has this in his arsenal. Oh, he's been working on that. I haven't even shown the world what I could do. That's why this is fun, because I have the ace up my sleeve. And when you have the ace up your sleeve in life,
Hey, I was wondering, your cheerleaders that you brought to my room, like, do you pay them as coaches or groupies, or do you just give them like sloppy seconds and social media shout outs?
Yeah, I give them a ton of dry over the pants hand jobs. Maybe say your joke again and we can all remember to laugh. Say it one more time. We can just all laugh afterwards, just so you feel good about yourself. Say it one more time for us. No.
You have another question?
Yeah.
Look at the cock on this guy.
Jake, you spoke about the improvements to make every single fight. What can you attribute those improvements to? Is your work ethic, your training team? What can you attribute that to?
Man, all of the above. We're working so hard, and really just a true passion for the sport. I love what I'm doing, and I have such a chip on my shoulder. The whole world wants to see Jake Paul lose this fight, and that I love that. I love that so much. And yes, we have the best team: BJ Flores, Jacob Chavez, you know, D Cut on the strength and conditioning, Carl, Jay Leon Love, John Marinick, Marcos. Like all of these guys, I'm probably forgetting names. Even down to Shadow, Lucas Mack, all of these guys, Ebach. We have the best team, Blue, Gus, Content, on down. Best managers, best advisors, best lawyers, best trainers, best photographers. That's why I'm at where I'm at as a 24-year-old, is because I'm surrounded by greatness. And look, we all have a lot to prove to the world, and I'm 24 years old. This is the biggest stage of my life. You know, the last event was the 8th biggest pay-per-view event in history. This one's going to be even bigger. Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg, Doja Cat. Are you kidding me? And you think for one moment I'm going to sit there and fumble this? You think for one moment I'm not going to work my bloody balls off to beat this bum, this Walmart-looking head-ass Napoleon Dynamite motherfucker? No. You got to be kidding me. So, yeah, I'm excited for this, and I have a chip on my shoulder, and I'm going to prove to the world April 17th. TrillerFightClub.com. Buy it now. But I'm going to prove to the world that Jake Paul's the real deal. And that's why I called out Conor McGregor initially. This is the road to McGregor at the end of the day.
All right, we're gonna go out to virtual questions, and let's go to that right now.
From USA Today, we have Josh Peter.
For Jake, you referred to Dana's $1 million bet. I just wonder how you felt about that. Where were you when you heard about it, and have you had a chance to talk to him?
I think it's great. Dana White doesn't talk about really anything besides the UFC, so it just goes to show how big of an event this is. And again, he is one of the many bird brain people out there who don't understand that Jake Paul is a real fighter. And, you know, he's going to lose $1 million. And I challenged him along with Snoop Dogg to step it up and make it $2 million. Put your money where your mouth is. $1 million isn't that much to Dana White. I'm so confident in my abilities, and you know, it's free promos. So thank you, Dana.
What's next virtually?
Next up is fan-sided Jeremy Haregis.
Question for Jake. Jake, considering Ben's combat sports background, are you expecting a quantum leap in the level of competition that you've faced thus far?
No. I think he'll be easier to beat than Nate Robinson.
Question to Ben.
Go ahead.
I think we lost him.
Was there a question for Ben there?
Yes, Ben, question for you. Based on what you've seen of Jake in the ring so far, have you seen an amount of talent there that you consider him talented as a boxer?
Yeah, it's hard to say. His opponents were so bad that he could have pretty much done anything he wanted to and won the fight. So yeah, I think TBD.
Next up is Bad Left Hook, Michael Woods.
Guys, question first for Jake. Jake, I was impressed with especially your power against Nate Robinson. It strikes me that maybe you were a guy who was born with it. I saw you backing up and cracking the guy. Now, I don't know how that's going to work on Askren, who is a seasoned fight professional, but it led me to be thinking, how into this are you? Or do you have sort of a long-term plan? All right, I'm going to do this a year, 2 year, 5 years. Are you now a boxing lifer? What's the end game? How long do you want to do this, and where do you want to get to in boxing?
Yeah, great question. Definitely a boxing lifer. I'm addicted to this sport, and I will become the biggest prize fighter in boxing. Simple as that. And yeah, thank you for the compliment. Have a ton of power. I didn't really even get to utilize it against Nate. He went down, and I only landed 8 punches, and he was knocked down 3 times, if that gives you any indication. And man, when I put those 10-ounce gloves on, those Grant gloves, shout out to Grant, best gloves in the game. Whew, I love to crack, baby. And you know what's crazy? I love to get hit too. So like, you know, I just love fighting in general. And again, this is the start of a burgeoning career, a burgeoning, amazing career. And I'm addicted to the sport. I love the sport. I want to bring more eyeballs to it. I love everything to do with it. You know, I could see myself coaching my son one day.
Someone's gonna let you have kids?
That was good. You got like two lefts. 2 lefts.
Thank you.
Next up is Cage Side Press, Gabriel Gonzalez.
Look at.
I've got 2 questions. First one is for Jake. Jake, celebrity boxing isn't anything new, but it's certainly enjoying a moment. What do you think it is about yourself that's made it successful?
It's your dad calling in. Look,
That dude's still alive, man?
He's still alive, bro. I'm about to take him out.
Flip-flop, man.
Hey, he's still alive. Don't worry, I'm gonna finish him off. Yeah, don't worry.
Tell him I like them flip-flops, man.
He said he likes your flip-flops. That's my guy Masvidal, maker of Ben Askren. Jake Paul will be the finisher of Ben Askren. Does that bother you, by the way, that you got knocked out in 5 seconds?
Nah, it happens.
Doesn't bother you?
Not really.
It doesn't really happen, by the way. That's only happened once.
You got a record.
You literally have the record. Yeah.
I literally have the record.
You hold the record.
The record.
Yeah. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It doesn't like haunt you at all that like you're
Does not
probably the
bother
most
me, Jake.
embarrassing fighter in UFC history.
Jake, I know you have low self-esteem, but you don't need to project it onto me.
This clip doesn't bother you?
I've only seen it like a million times. Doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you?
No.
Are you sure?
Sure.
Maybe the same thing to you.
Yeah. I don't think you're allowed to throw knees in boxing, Jake.
I'm gonna knock you out. Same thing.
Okay. Good luck.
Okay, once again, Gabriel Gonzalez.
All right,
All
my
right,
first
let's get,
question is for Jake. Jake, celebrity boxing isn't anything new, but it's certainly enjoying a moment. What do you think it is about yourself that you've had so much success? Because let's be honest, not everybody brings in as much attention when they try to do this.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused when people talk about celebrity boxing because there's no such thing as celebrity boxing. I'm the only celebrity that's boxing. So people like to write articles about it, but like I'm the only one that's doing it. So doesn't really make sense to me. But really, at the end of the day, this isn't celebrity boxing. I am a celebrity who is boxing, yes, but I'm a real fighter. I've shown that. I'm 3-0, 3 KOs, 2-0 as a professional with 2 KOs. But I'm the only celebrity or influencer that's fought in like the past 2 years. So I'm really the only one doing it. So
my next question is for Ben.
Logan doesn't count or what?
He hasn't fought in 2 years if you paid attention closely to what I was saying. And look, Logan's great. He's a celebrity who's boxing, but at the end of the day, again, Logan is a real fighter who would whoop on a lot of guys.
Who's better, you or him in boxing?
Me, hands down. That's why I'm 3-0, 3 KOs. He's 0-1-1.
Yeah. He ever whoop your ass when you're the little brother? That was a question, Jake. You're supposed to.
I just don't care about your questions.
Okay. So I'll take that as he rubbed your face in the carpet on a weekly basis.
Yeah, sure, Ben.
All right, on that note, we'll go for another virtual question.
Yeah, my final question was just for Ben. Ben, you've been in big fights before, UFC pay-per-views, won championships. How has the reception been for you for this fight? Because I'm assuming you're getting messages from a whole other fan base. What has that been like?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said earlier, I knew of Jake and Logan when I took the fight, but I didn't know like a whole lot about Logan or his little brother. And one of the things that I can't believe is in MMA, I was kind of the heel. I was kind of not liked that much. But Jake said in the pre-fight thing that it was 50 people wanted to win, 50 people wanted to lose, and I was shocked because it's got to be like 9 to 10. Pretty amazing how many people don't like you. I actually kind of find it pretty impressive, your ability to be disliked. That was a compliment.
All righty. Another virtual question on tap.
From the Courtside Sound Off podcast, I have Angel Ortega.
Yes, I have one question for Jake, and I want to ask Jake. You started with Deji, and now you're with Ben, and you also had Nate. I want to ask you, are you at this point bigger than the JJ fight? Is there any interest in still fighting KSI, or have you outgrown him and you're just over that?
Yeah, definitely outgrown him. There's interest. I think that's a fight that everyone wants to see, but at this point, it just wouldn't even be close. And I think, once he sees what I do to Ben, yeah, he's not gonna want to fight. And yeah, like even his coaches say it. They're like, hey, we're not letting KSI fight this kid right now. So his coaches know. His coaches know what will happen. KSI's ducking. And at the end of the day, it's like, there's a lot bigger fights out there than JJ. So.
All right, next.
And next we have from MMA Island, Donna Corby.
Hey guys, this question is for Jake, and I guess it applies a bit to Ben as well. Jake, when you look at your 3 fights, you were very fortunate when you fought Deji and when you fought Nate that the main event guys were willing to carry the slack with you, because your opponents really weren't in terms of the promotion of the fight. They were very quiet. They weren't, Deji doesn't really have much of a mainstream appeal. Nate obviously opted to just be quiet and try to portray himself as an athlete. We'll give Gib the credit. He really did push that fight. Do you appreciate that Ben is willing to do the work to promote the fight, unlike maybe probably any of your opponents before? And Ben, are you enjoying that aspect of it?
I do actually appreciate it. And I part of me likes Ben. A part of me, thinks he's funny. So I'll give him that. And even his wife, like I was seeing her post stuff on Instagram, like she's funny. So I give him credit. And yeah, I think this fight has the most amount of hype going into it. He actually is putting out content and making some noise and talking some shit. So yeah, I do give credit to Ben there, and that's part of the reason we picked him is we knew there was going to be shit talk going into it.
One of the things I appreciated about him earlier, I said it, is that and his brother too. Like they have somehow convinced their fans that they're real fighters. It's tremendous. It's it takes an act, it takes a show. He's done that. He says, pulling the fire truck, me and rice and chicken and shit like that. Like I'm in this for life. That's tremendous. Appreciate that, Jake.
Suck a dick.
One more. We have one more virtual question, and that's going to wrap things up for us. So go ahead.
From Full Reptile YouTube, James Mystery.
Hey guys, I got a question for each athlete. Jake, what do you have to say to all the professional fighters out there that don't like your quick success in combat sports without any substantial previous experience?
Haters will be haters. When there's a new young buck in the game coming up in ruffling feathers, they're going to be upset. But again, I'm just trying to bring more eyeballs to the sport, and I'm having fun doing it. And I'm just doing me. There's room for everyone to eat. Gary Vee once said, you can build your skyscraper in New York as high as you want without tumbling over someone else's skyscraper. So why are people mad that I'm successful? Build up your own skyscraper, and there's room for everyone to eat in this sport. Trust me.
Fair enough. Ben, I saw on your Instagram the little scuffle between you and Jake before the press conference. I was wondering if you can fill me in on that. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how intimidated were you when Jake came in and flicked that tissue over your shoulder?
I think it was a mask, not a tissue, but yeah, I would say like a 1 to 1.1, somewhere in there. Again, if Jake and I met in an alley, I would just do a homicide if I wanted to. No big deal. I was most impressed by the fact that Jake, as a 24-year-old, is able to convince a whole team of grown men to do a cheer with him. That was tremendous.
It's called a team, a family, something that you don't have. Seems like you don't have really friends, and we're all in this together, and this means a lot to us. This means a lot to everyone. This is a part of history. That everyone on my team is a part of history, and we're a brotherhood, and quite literally a bunch of 20-year-olds taking over the world. Sounds stupid.
Yeah, I hope you do some more cheers on the way there.
Well, we know it's going to be serious on April 17th.
Go Bayside.
We appreciate both of you being
2,
here.
4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Ben. God damn.
There you go. Thank you both for being here. We're looking forward to April 17th. Should be a lot of fun.
Thank you, Al.
All right, you take care. Ben, Jake, we'll see you guys on April 17th. How many days? 22. Now. 22. 22 till I end this motherfucker's career. As they exit the stage,